Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are having a great day as we get ready to go into the weekend. Um, so today's video is going to be about the significance of the Vamp cryptocurrency. Should we buy this cryptocurrency? Should we consider buying it? Um, I think I put on my thinking cap today. I did do start off sound check, spend about half an hour doing a video last night, and you guys were able to tell me that my sound was down way too low. So my sound wasn't coming through like it should, and my sound check seemed to check out okay, so hopefully we won't have that problem today. But let's talk about the Vamp coin, right? Now some are calling this the Jack Levin sellout coin, right? I looked at it; it seems to be performing very well, though. If you're in the Zen community and you're one of those people who don't quite understand Metcalfe's law, don't quite understand why a currency has no more value at $1 than it has at $1,000,000. I know that mind blows a lot of people. It goes over a lot of people's head. But true value is in stability, right? Just think for a moment. If you went to the store today and by the time you got there, the $100 you had in your pocket was worth $1, right? You probably wouldn't like that. That probably wouldn't be okay for you. But you can see the tremendous power to move that value if you knew pretty much that $100 was going to be $100, right? When you got there to do your trade and the usefulness, right? And when something is stable, as we underlined yesterday in yesterday's video, whether you're minting coins or trying to gain trustless yield, it's going to be very important to you later on when you are redeeming that and collecting on those coins that they hold the value that they held when you first started minting them, right, and mining them, etc. uh so I think that's pretty clear to everybody, right? The importance of stability. Prices mooning up and crashing down, not really helpful to everybody, right? Not in the long run. But anyway, let's get into you know what's going on. Should we be buying this Vamp coin? What I think about it. So the first part is, if you've been watching my content, right, you guys know I'm operating in a totally different dimension in cryptocurrency. I am an economist in the uh, in the wholeheartedness sense of the word, right? Um, And what I mean by that is I really am after healthy economies that work for everybody, right? And I think that's different than what the cryptocurrency community is. What it can be in the future, it can be something I think phenomenal, but we just haven't evolved. We're just not there yet. So, obviously people get turned on by what a cryptocurrency can do for them right now today. Can it pump and they can go do something out there with it? And that's understandable, right? It's tough on everybody. We're right at the border of recession, even though it seems like we've survived the pandemic and this economy. But the debt, is still out of control, and you know that at some point in time we have to pay the piper on that. But anyway, the vamp the vamp token. Now, how it's described, right? It's basically a BRC20 token, right? That basically means it's on the Bitcoin um, blockchain, right? Jack Levin loves Bitcoin, as we can see, right? And a lot of people like Bitcoin, especially if you kind of came over from that Bitcoin maxi community. And the idea that you can have a project on Bitcoin, but it has potential to grow like early Bitcoin, to go up in value like that, that's appealing to a lot of people. And so I actually think that part is good. Even with our project Bitcoin MYK, it is Bitcoin MYK was based on the Bitcoin ledger, right? And imagine if Bitcoin created what we call the citizens dividend, where it made the economy participatory, where everybody got a certain value of the cryptocurrency every month, about maybe 10%. Let's just say maybe 10% of Bitcoin's value went to encouraging people to get into Bitcoin, right? Growing that ecosystem, right? The distribution rate, the cryptocurrency uh, would make it so that people, right, are more in a participatory economy. That's very important because when you get less participation in an economy, that's when that economy starts to die, right? So try to follow that and hold on to that, right? Because it's been true throughout history. Um, so I like that part about it. Okay, what don't I like about it? Well, the reality of the situation is Bitcoin itself is not a participatory economy, meaning Bitcoin is only serving a very small percentile of people, right? It's just not doing what people hoped it would do. It does have a great amount of stability, but we're still at an early point in time in cryptocurrency where people are still akin to the benefits being so great that an expensive product like Bitcoin just doesn't let everybody participate on a decentralized level like we'd like, right? This is why people like Elon Musk always complain about the ownership of Dogecoin, right? It just doesn't satisfy decentralization. In other words, it would be probably no different than how we use the US dollar now. We know we got people who are able to print the US dollar. We know we got lawmakers who are able to abuse the printing press. So we know that we got oligarchs who are able to exploit the system through the tax code and such. And so there's all these avenues that makes it a currency we see problems in. And Bitcoin is suffering a similar situation in its distribution rate. Some of it is just inherent to the system. But one of the biggest aspects of Bitcoin being that the wealthy people control Bitcoin. But the problem is that, unlike in the standard economy where we can participate in it, and maybe at some point in time we can go through this revolving door of capitalism, meaning that lower class people economically can move up to higher classes. That becomes a lot more difficult to do in Bitcoin because Bitcoin doesn't have a job market. It doesn't have a fully realized infrastructure, so it could be more distribution in Bitcoin, right? People aren't being paid in Bitcoin. People, stores and merchants aren't greatly accepting Bitcoin, not on a level that I think would satisfy that. So the problem, to sum it up, the problem with Jack Levin, doing this favoritism thing with Bitcoin and not sticking to Zen, right? That's why they're kind of calling it the sellout coin. Not sticking to, at least sticking with Zen long enough for the infrastructure to be completely built up. The one complaint is that he moves on to projects a lot, right? And that's good in a sense because you should, as he points out, and it's clear, you shouldn't be depending on Jack Levin to really do anything. But the reality of the situation is that even with Bitcoin, uh, we're kind of under a false narrative that cryptocurrencies can just emerge decentralized. No, they start from a point of centralization and move ever to decentralization. So it's always a level and it's always a spectrum. So to say that the good thing is over time, yeah, maybe they get more decentralized. But in the beginning, everybody's going to be looking at Satoshi. In the beginning, everybody's going to be looking at Jack Levin. In the beginning, everybody's going to be looking at Richard Hart. In the beginning, everybody's going to be looking at founders of the Bitcoin MYK project, right? The other part about Bitcoin is just the fee structure, right? You guys know how I feel about uh, high fee chains, right? They are, it's the tragedy of the commons where their success is related to high fees that create less participants over time. right? So I think I would have liked it better if the Vamp coin would just been created through the Zen when the Zen blockchain, X1 blockchain comes out, and Jack Levin can have his own kind of token like Bitcoin if you want to make it like that, and it could be a scarce coin, right? It didn't have to be necessarily a Zen coin, right? Then that necessarily be Zen. Although I could see why the community would say, why wouldn't it be Zen? Why wouldn't Zen have just been the cryptocurrency of the X1 blockchain? So when I start to mention other projects like Bitcoin MYK, right, it's not so much to try to steal you guys away from Zen or put too much attention or put too much projects in front of your face at once, because seemingly that's already happened in the Zen ecosystem. That is so much stuff going on. We can't grow one thing over another. You know, at least with Richard Hart's projects, as bad as I feel about them, as negative as I am about much of what happens in Hex and Pulse, in the Richard Hart ecosystem, at least we know it's like 3 cryptocurrencies, and Zen is just countless, right? Um, and they seem to be growing. Uh, so for me, it would be a no go. Like I'm not really interested, even though I believe it's going to perform well, but I kind of want to create the best cryptocurrency for the most people, guys. And I don't want to continue to feed into endless cryptocurrency projects that might allow 1% of you guys to make money. It's just not a long-term solution to a ongoing problem, right? And I'm one of those people, when I get involved in something, I want to really create something that solves problems, not just spin wheels, not just give you guys a few hype cycles. And to do that, it takes time, it takes research, it takes a lot of know-how, and it takes a lot of understanding of this space and the ability to see the future. But anyway, I also want to talk in this video about how to get Bitcoin MYK, get the inflation token, how to make sure you're getting it, and how to and how to avoid making mistakes that could limit your ability to get it. So let's talk about how to get more of the Bitcoin MYK inflation token. It's like we got a new member here. It's like some pretty cool artwork here that that this person's doing, Samu, right? And that's what I like about Bitcoin MYK. That's why I'm trying to get the Zen community so much into this, because when new people come on here and get into cryptocurrency, not only are they able to participate and mine this cryptocurrency and mint this cryptocurrency, but they're able to do it in a very recognizable way. You know, these are tools they've used before, and the Bitcoin NYK project, it can basically take their participation value, and it can extrapolate what they're doing through their social media encounter and able to create a market value for that, right? Based on many statistics of the value wise of velocity of how it moves, and the algorithm is very interesting. It's simple and complicated at the same time, and in later videos we'll get into that, but it really encourages participation. But here's how you get the Bitcoin NYK inflation token on at a level that you want to get it at, and how you don't make mistakes, that you're not getting it and not in the queue to get it and receive it as you wish. So the first thing is, if you look in your wallets and you have the Bitcoin NYK inflation token kind of just dropped and found its way in there, that's great. What's even great is if it just keeps getting in there. But for some reason it's not continuing to get in there. What do? Well, the first thing you need to do is, if you've received it in your wallet, but you don't have a wallet on bitcoinnyk.com, make sure you get one, right? That's going to be number one to making sure you continue to get value with the Bitcoin MYK inflation token project, right? Participate as much as you can, right? You want to be active, right? So you want to count and you want to be active, right? because your level of participation is going to move you through receiving the cryptocurrency in a timely manner. Now, if you don't do that right, then it's probably going to be sketchy for you, right? So you got to participate in order to keep it coming. And what I mean by participation is simple as logging in. It's not, no really hard, tough work. It's not very time consuming necessarily. You work it on your schedule. Obviously, the more you participate, the more you're going to gain. And obviously, if you log in every month, you're going to get the citizens dividend. That's the most important thing. I think that you make sure you log in. Now, if you don't log in every month, that means you're not technically eligible for the citizens dividend. Not saying you won't get it, right? Because we're pushing for maximum distribution, but it is saying that you won't be on the system's priority, right? And so the way that the algorithm and the system's going to distribute is going to be based. Your ranking is going to be based on your participation, right? So so in simple terms, if you're a person who doesn't do anything, you just kind of sit up there, get the cryptocurrency, your ranking is going to be very low. If you're a person who's posting, like we just showed with the new user Samo, you're picking pictures, you're making friends, you're doing social media activities, you're encouraging network growth, then obviously your rank is going to be very, very high, right? So that's basically how it works, guys. This is a cryptocurrency that is exploiting Metcalfe's law, moving to have the most wallets. The transactions are free. Everything's free. We want a system where money can be delivered all across the globe. Obviously, that makes it superior to all the other coins out there. It's a headache to be on Bitcoin trying to move cryptocurrencies. It's a headache to be on Ethereum. It's a headache to be on all of them, right? Syncing these wallets that aren't user friendly. But in our project, we have listened, we have worked on systems that make it as easy as possible for the most people to participate. And that's what we've done here. And this is the system we've built. It's a very interesting project. Also, when you tell friends about it, when you drop your affiliate links as such, you refer people, you're going to earn even more cryptocurrency, right? Everything's free and everything's created from the minting of your participation, right? So that means that it's totally free. You don't have to buy it. Now, why would somebody buy it? Obviously, there's something inside Metcalfe's law that tells us definitively that the bigger the size of a network and its use, the more valuable it becomes. So by default, it just starts to gain value, right? It would have value with or without an exchange. It wouldn't matter. And these things are economically proven to be true. And as we invite you to subscribe to the channel, look into this. As we go on, we'll have videos that get into that as such. But I'm going to leave it there, guys. That's all I want to say in this particular video. As always, take care of yourselves and each other. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to participate. Leave them in the comment section. You might just find yourself getting a great deal of the Bitcoin and MYK inflation token. That's all I want to say. Till next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.